Look, bro, I already know you going through it right now. You might be going through one of the toughest periods of your life. I already know. I've been there. I've done that. I still have moments where I'll go through very, very tough points, very low points of life, like massive setbacks. But the thing is, most people that would see me on a day to day would never know. They would never know. I try not to reach out to too many people when I go through these points. I have very key strategic people in my life that I've trusted that have seen me at low points, and they've seen me climb back from it, right? And I'm only saying this, I'm bringing this up to you because I know you right now, you're watching. Every time you go through a setback or you go through a loss, you try to call as many people as you can. You want to be able to, have somebody comfort you, or you want to, have somebody have some sympathy for you so you can feel better. Or you may be just calling somebody to get a lending hand. And I'll tell you this, if you're like me and you don't come from a family with much and it's really on you, right? You don't have much to lean on. When you go through a tough financial situation, there's no one really to lean on, right? And so I come to you with this message because I do believe that all of these setbacks that are happening to you are for a reason. They're to prove your competence. It's the universe, it's life's way of proving your competence, proving to yourself that you can do what you need to do to become the person that you want to be, especially when you have a big vision for yourself. When you have a massive vision for yourself and you declare that that's what you want and you go all in on that thing, life is going to put some things in your way to test you, to see if you really got it to be able to get out of situations. It's only going to make you better. Like, it's taking me time to learn this. It's taking me years to learn this. Every time I used to, have a massive setback, and when I say massive setback, I'm talking about account wiped, right? A huge, massive thing happened, right? I got to go do this. It can be financial. It can be spiritual as well. Like massive setbacks where you just feel discombobulated. You don't know what's going on. And all you just moving around, you scrambling, right? And especially during this time in the US, there's a lot of people going through a lot of financial turmoil, and some people you can see it on them and some people you can't, right? And I'll say this, whenever I go through financial turmoil, the biggest thing I have to realize is that there's a bigger vision and I always get out, right? I'm at a point where if I go through really tough financial times, I have a lot of confidence in myself because I've gotten out of it before and I've learned a lesson, right? So I don't get back into it through that same thing. So for me and for you specifically, because you don't have the strongest like financial support system or even just emotional support system, every decision you make becomes extremely sensitive, right? Because you don't have something to fall back on. So every time you make a decision, you tend to see the reaction, or you tend to see the effect of the cause of the decision that you made like right away, and it hits you hard. So if you're going through that process where you're trying to figure some things out and you're at that lowest point, I tell you, sit in it. Sit in it for as long as you need to. Figure it out. Figure a way out. Be creative. It's life testing you, right? You can go get a bailout, but if you get bailed out, you're going to get the same situation happening again, because as men, we learn through tough lessons. We learn through tough situations. That is when we learn the most. That's when we grow the most. That's why I can sit here and spit real facts to y'all, talk about real wisdom, because I've gone through a lot of things on my own. I've sat in the mess that I've made for myself with a decision that I've made, whether it be business wise, whether it be relationship, whatever that looked like. I've always sat in my own mess. And I've always analyzed what I could have done better. The best thing you can do as a man is be able to analyze every single action you do and audit everything that you do when you're in a low point, when you're in that setback. Sit and analyze. Think. It is chess, right? You make a mistake, you move the rook a certain way, you lose the rook, you almost get checkmated. Take time to think. How do I get out of this? What can I do? Be creative, right? Because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, when you're able to do this, the confidence that you'll get from breaking out of that situation is unmatched. Like, you will literally come out of it a different person. People always ask me, Martel, how are you so confident in yourself? Because I've gone through so much. And I'm going to give you guys stories as I make more videos. But I've gone through so much in my life. In this 26 years that I'm living on this planet right now, I've gone through so much: financial, emotional, spiritual, all of that. I've been through it all. Relationship. I've been through so much that I can now tell you because I've sat in it, I've analyzed it, I know what I did wrong, and I know how to not ever have that happen to me again. So every new challenge that I have, instead of calling the next person and just, vent and ask for help and all that stuff, I figure it out. And the crazy part is when you sit and you really think about it, you start to realize I can figure this out. And every time you have a setback, it's an algorithm that you're not putting in your head, right? You know how to get out of it. So the next time it gets easier, easier, and easier, and easier, and easier. You don't make the same mistakes. And the thing is, if you keep making the same mistakes, you're going to keep getting to that point until you learn your lesson. Life is all about learning lessons. So don't get frustrated. Don't be upset when people aren't answering your calls. Another thing you got to understand, the nature of humans, right? Humans are innately selfish creatures. We are selfish creatures. I know a lot of people are going to be mad about this. They're like, oh, I'm not selfish. I think about everything. No, you don't. When you wake up in the morning, you don't think about how you can make somebody else's life better. You wake up thinking how you can improve your life, how you can make your day better, right? So if that's the case, when you go and you're trying to ask people or you want people to talk to you, why is this person not calling me for a while? You have to understand that everyone is narcissistic to a certain extent because they have to make sure that their life is good. Most people are living in survival mode, right? And then when you're living in survival mode, all you can think of is yourself. Now, the people who can stay in survival mode but also transcend and think about others, that's how you really get to that next level. I've felt that before, where I've been at my lowest point and all I can think about is how can I provide value to somebody else? It always gets me out, right? And it's a cheat code to getting out of situations. How do I not think about myself and still provide value? Because the thing is, life is a compounding effect. So every single time that you go through a specific like problem or you have some sort of an issue, the fact that you're thinking about still providing value and you're not halting on it, over time, all of that value that you're providing is going to stack up so much that you're just going to have a big break out of that situation, right? And now that you already know not to get back in it, you're moving forward in life and there's going to be another obstacle, but you already know all I got to do is keep providing value, keep providing value. But going back to the human part, what I've noticed as well is when you're going through very tough times, when things are slow, when you don't have the type of money that you usually have, you really low, like low, like scary low, and you got things hitting you left and right, that's when people are going to be hitting you up the least. Because people understand frequency, they understand energy at an innate level. So they can feel when you have abundance, right? When you have that abundant energy and things are coming at you left and right when it comes to positive things, whether it's money, whether it's just overall like just good things happening to you, you're going to see more people hitting you up because people are going to feel the energy that you exude and they're going to want to have a piece of that, right? They're going to want to be a part of that energy. It's very few people that will reach out to you when you're at your lowest point and ask you how you doing. Those are the people you want to keep around, right? For me, it's all about figuring out who I want to keep around me because I know where I'm going. You know where you're going. You can feel when you're going to get to that point to where you're going to elevate and you're going to be a lot bigger than you would have ever thought you would be, right? People who are destined for really big things, they know at a very young age. And I'm sure you knew from a very young age that you were destined for greatness. Now, if that's the case, you have to understand that the people who are around you, that talk to you, that care about you, that ask you how you're doing, even without you calling them, anything like that, keep those people around forever. Because those are the people that, regardless of where your energy's at, they're not looking to come and absorb that energy. They're coming to actually either provide you with more energy or they're coming to understand and fix the energy that you have, help support the energy that you're trying to create and get through, right? So that's another thing for people who are really suffering major setbacks right now. You just have to know that it's a storm and there's always going to be, the storm is always going to go away, right? And the good thing is there's always a sign when you're going to get something massive, you might go through a lot before you go get it because life has to self-correct you. And the only way, especially as men, to be self-corrected, like I mentioned before, is setbacks, is our failures, our, disasters that occur because that's how we learn. That's how we grow. We grow through pain. We grow through suffering. That's just how it works. That's just the law of the universe, right? Grow through suffering as a man. So when you go through these major setbacks, just know that you have a major comeback coming up. And all you have to do is really just stay locked in, keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, keep providing the value that you need to be providing. Don't sit, don't sulk, don't be upset. You can be upset for about a minute or two, but get back up and keep going. Keep providing value, and you'll see things are going to start working out. And things will work out in a timely manner. You're not going to fall all the way down, especially if you keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. Just don't let you get into that like negative spiral where you start to doubt yourself, you start to stop doing things, you start to get lazy. It's the depressive state. Get out of that. Just realize, focus on the end goal, focus on the bigger purpose, and just stick with that and just keep going. The biggest thing you have to do is focus on that bigger purpose, because in every other setback, whether it's major setback, minor setback, it's all going to feel like a blimp because you know where you're going to go. And I'm experiencing that, right? Like, whatever setback that goes on in my life right now, it's a blimp to me. It's a tiny little blimp because I know where I want to go. The purpose that I have is a lot bigger. So I hope this video encouraged you. If you're going through a major setback right now, if you're going through very tough times, this video should really give you at least some level of inspiration. I don't like to say motivation, but some level of inspiration to know that there will be something that's bigger on the other side. You just have to keep going. Don't rely on other people. If other people want to help you, great. But don't go for people. Don't go for the help of other people right away. Be self-sufficient. Figure it out. Use your brain. This is the time to train your brain. This is the time to train your decision-making processes, your abilities. This is the time to build confidence. When you're at your lowest point, it's the time to build the most confidence. This is when everything starts to make sense to you. This is when you start to realize who you really are. And this is when you start to progress faster and faster and faster and faster. You start to get wiser and wiser and wiser. And you'll get to a point where people are asking you, how do you know all these things? Because I've been through a lot by myself. I've self-analyzed consistently. And once you get to that point, you're unstoppable. You're a conqueror. It's just what it is. You've taken the gold pill, right? This is the gold pill that we're talking about right now. So if you like this video, comment, like, subscribe, share it with a friend that's going through some tough times, that you feel you have this feeling, this energy that they may be going through some rough things right now, because it's going to help a lot for their mental health. It's going to help a lot with their self-image, their perspective. Perspective is everything. This can literally change your perspective and change your situation. All it takes is just to shift the perspective. That's all you need. So I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Peace.